What if I told you robots can now think, see, and move? Just like us. That's not sci-fi anymore, it's real. In today's video, we're diving into how Google DeepMind quietly launched a robot with digital instincts, why Gemini Robotics might be the biggest AI leap since ChatGPT, and what this means for our homes, our jobs, and maybe even our future. Let's unpack it. From science fiction to science. Imagine asking your robot to fold your laundry, and it just does it. No code, no commands. Just, hey, fold this, and boom, it figures it out. That moment, it just arrived. On March 12, 2025, Carolina Parada, a lead engineer at Google DeepMind, stood in front of a room full of journalists, scientists, and AI nerds like me, and dropped a bombshell. Gemini Robotics and its smarter sibling, Gemini Robotics ER. Built on the already mind-blowing Gemini 2.0, which could understand images, text, audio, even video, these new models take things off the screen and into the real world. We're talking about robots that don't just reply to you, they move for you. Imagine Siri or Alexa, but with arms. This isn't just an update, it's a shift. Robots that once needed weeks of training can now learn tasks in real time, just by watching or listening to you. The digital meets the physical and the results are jaw-dropping. Gemini can think on its feet. Here's where it gets weird. And honestly, kinda amazing. Most robots are like toddlers with scripts. Tell them, pick up object, and if the object moves an inch, they freeze. But Gemini Robotics? It's got what DeepMind calls embodied reasoning. Basically, it understands 3D space the way you and I do. Let's say there's a cup on the table. You tell the robot, grab it by the handle. With ER, it knows what a handle is, where it is, and how to get to it, without breaking the cup or knocking over your water bottle in the process. And if someone suddenly moves the cup? No problem. It recalculates on the spot, just like a human would. It's not just following directions, it's thinking. That's a robot with instincts, not just programming. That's a level of general intelligence we haven't seen before outside of sci-fi. Generalization equals game changer. Okay, here's where I really started to freak out, in a good way. Google ran Gemini through something called a generalization benchmark. That's just a fancy way of saying, let's throw weird, unfamiliar tasks at it and see what happens. Guess what? Gemini handled it like a pro. It wasn't trained to fold origami. It wasn't programmed to bag sandwiches, but it figured it out anyway. It more than doubled the success rate of previous robotic models in these unknown territory scenarios. The model doesn't need to be hand-fed data for every little task. It learns on the fly, like us. That's what makes this so powerful. Gemini doesn't just work in labs, it can work anywhere. Language to action. You don't need to speak robot anymore. The robot now speaks you. Tell Gemini, hey, grab the red box and put it on the shelf, but leave the blue one alone. And it just does it. No programming, no error codes. This isn't just helpful, it's huge. For years, only experts could make robots do anything useful. Now, you, your grandma, your little cousin, anyone can command a robot using plain language. And since it's built on Gemini 2.0, the language understanding is freakishly good. It lowers the barrier for everyone. Now you don't need to be a coder to use advanced robotics. You just need your voice, fine motor skills, and real-world dexterity. Folding paper, twisting bottle caps, holding an egg without breaking it. Sounds easy? Not for robots. But Gemini nails it. Google's demo showed robotic arms folding paper cranes, packing delicate objects, and zipping bags shut, all without smashing or fumbling. That level of precision has always been a roadblock for robots, until now. It's not just about strength, it's about finesse. Gemini gives robots the hands and the brain to do real human tasks, safely, smoothly, reliably. One model to rule them all. Usually robotics is like Frankenstein's monster, stitched together with a dozen different tools. Not anymore. Gemini Robotics ER doesn't need plugins or modules. It sees, plans, and acts all in one system. Vision, spatial awareness, motion planning, even code generation. All handled internally. And an end-to-end test where the robot starts with just a camera feed and ends with a completed task. It performed 2 to 3 times better than Gemini 2.0. This is robotics without the headache. One model, one brain, total control, and it works right out of the box. partnering with the real world. So how soon will we see these robots in the wild? Sooner than you think. Google isn't keeping this tech to itself. They're partnering with Aptronik, the minds behind the Apollo humanoid robot. They even invested in the company as part of a $350 million raise. That means Gemini-powered robots could be walking factory floors, or even your living room, very soon. And they're not alone. Agility Robotics, Boston Dynamics, and more are testing Gemini right now. The robots are coming, but this time, they're not scary metal monsters. They're helpful, adaptable, and maybe even a little friendly. Built-in ethics and the Asimov dataset. But hold on, what if the robot messes up? Or does something bad? DeepMind thought of that too. They introduced something called the Asimov dataset, a built-in moral compass for robots, inspired by Isaac Asimov's famous 3 laws of robotics. They're basically writing a rulebook in natural language, things the robot shouldn't do, based on ethics and safety, and they're testing it rigorously to see if the robot actually follows those rules in real-world scenarios. For example, if it has to choose between efficiency and safety, will it pick the safer option? This kind of ethical framework is what separates useful tech from dangerous tech. DeepMind isn't just building smarter robots, they're building responsible ones. Learn by watching. Okay, this one blew my mind. If a task is too complex, Gemini can watch someone do it a few times, and then do it itself. That's called in-context learning. And it's the holy grail of robotics. No training run, no coding. Just a couple examples, and it gets the idea. Imagine showing your robot how you like the dishwasher loaded, and it remembers. It doesn't just copy instructions, it copies your style. That's next-level personalization. Robots are ready for the real world. So, what's the big picture here? Why does this matter? Because for the first time, we have robots that can truly function in the real world. Not clunky, pre-programmed machines, but smart, adaptable helpers. From factories to hospitals, homes to offices, this tech is ready to roll out. And you don't need to be an engineer to use it. We're not just teaching robots to move, we're teaching them to live alongside us. That's the real breakthrough. And it's happening right now. What do you think? Would you trust a robot with your morning coffee? Or your kid's lunch? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the wild world of AI and robotics, hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.